you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'll see you in like a half hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
How are you?
Hello, everybody. I want to call this meeting to order on Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. For all you folks that are here, I hope you signed in when you came in. If you're going to come forward to speak, you speak loud enough, come up to the platform. If anybody's going to give any testimony, we have two cases tonight. At this time, if you'd please stand and raise your right hand to swear you in. You swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Say, I do.
I do.
Thank you. We have a little housekeeping here before we start. For the meeting of 2/25/2025, do I have an approval of the minutes?
I move, we approve. Second.
All in favor? Aye. First up, we have Protective Industries on a variance request for an expansion on legal non-conforming use pertaining to maximum, another one for pertaining to maximum parking spaces in front of development. This is case number 202-50113. President? Please state your name and address.
Sure. I am Steve Kopak with David Laird Associates. My address is 1557 West 26th Street. I'm here with Jim Heigl of Cap Plugs, representing this request for a variance for the parking in the front of the building and the expansion of a non-conforming use. We're looking to expand this, formerly Niagara Plastics, now Cap Plug Severi. I was looking to put on about an 82,000 square foot building addition, which will become primarily warehouse. And it'll be located as shown here on this drawing. It was an existing Niagara Plastics prior to your change of your zoning ordinance or rezoning of this portion of the property. So we're looking to expand on a non-conforming use as that part of the project. And then in addition to that, our second variance request would be to add those 64 parking spaces to the front of the building or the east side of the building. We're trying to get some additional parking on there, and if you look kind of to the south there's a bunch of wetland area along the drive that would go around the building. It just makes it very difficult for us to put any parking in that area. And then in the rear of the building will be some loading docks, not in the kind of the concrete hatched area. There's 4 loading docks that aren't depicted by tractor trailers parked there, but there'll be some loading and unloading that takes place back there. So it just makes it kind of difficult for us to put the parking in another location and still utilize this. From having to run in and out to go take the materials off site to store them, to then bring them back and package them and take them out. So this will reduce the number of trucks you would see on the roads due to that fact.
So they're going to be bringing it to the warehouse?
The warehouse is attached now. Before they were running it from here to their
To
warehouse on
their
18th,
okay.
to their 18th Street.
Somewhere off-site?
Yes.
Off-site,
So
okay.
this hopes to reduce that back and forth and keep everything in their existing facility.
Now, I take it Zuck Road comes down this side.
If you were to go across, 99 goes like this to an intersection, then you come down and over.
Yeah, kind of kitty corner.
Kind of makes a big curve back into
So the
there.
trucks are going to be coming around this side to go in here to get into the warehouse?
That's how they currently do it. When the drive going around, you'll come in off the front and be able to go hit the dock there or come in the other way.
So you'll load out of the front on the old existing building here?
There's some loading there, but this new loading is in the rear. That road that drives around is how you'll get to the back of the building. Instead of having to go down and around Zook and come into the back of the building, you'll use our driveway. So you only have to get on the property and drive around the building.
So this right side driveway is not there yet?
Correct. All that is proposed. That's the gray is a proposed asphalt, and the building is the proposed warehouse.
So you're going to have dock doors along this side of the warehouse?
No, that's the drive around to get you to the back where that concrete is.
Oh, this driveway here from the...
Yeah, if I can use your pointer for a second.
Yeah, you're using kind of steers.
Oh, I guess there was one up there.
Just that little bit.
Yeah, so this is the concrete apron, the loading docks are right in here. They'll back in, they'll come around this driveway down here, they skid oriented and back into the loading docks and then can leave out this way, there's a road that's already there, or back out the way they came.
So does that come all the way down around this side here?
This up is over here. And
And you
drops.
guys gotta make a drive twos up, or you already have it?
Right now is how they already do it. Yes, the Zook drive is already there.
Okay.
That exists currently. This is so you can get access like this instead of having to go all the way over, down and back around and up the drive.
Question, you talked about the reduction in trucks.
The trucks we won't need, right now, there's a loading docks in this area and they load a truck up and then they leave and take it to their off-site warehousing. The warehouse has been shifted a year now.
Okay, I understand the stuff that's here. Now you've got to take it somewhere else when you sell it or something, right?
Correct.
So how many more trucks are going to be taking stuff out, not to a warehouse, but wherever you deliver it to?
I would have to ask.
It's gonna be a net neutral.
Net neutral.
Yeah, right now we're running about 4 or 5 trucks a day out of that location to the remote warehouse.
So instead of your trucks going to the haul in the other warehouse, they're gonna go directly to the consumer?
Right.
Yeah, so that's, the truck is,
Okay.
like you said, is kind of used. Okay.
Are you going to increase the hours of operation? This does have a residential area close to it. Are you going?
Right now we run 24/7.
24/7?
Right now the plant is running 24/7.
What does it run now? 24/7. Does it?
Right now it runs
Oh,
24/7.
okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
We also have a formal land development plan, stormwater management plan, NPDS permit, all that's kind of in the works. So once we have acquired this, everything will.
Security, lighting and stuff.
We have lighting.
Staying within your property.
Yep,
and all
we have a
that.
lighting plan that shows the photometrics. Everything is, Mr. Jonas has already reviewed my stormwater plan, gave me a few comments, but nothing that we can't take care of and we'll bring to the land development plan. And
Did you ever mitigate any of the wetland?
we did not. That little red hatched area, we are going, yeah, we obtained a GP permit for a wetland crossing via the driveway. We didn't mitigate. With the GP permit, you're allowed to do that for the drive.
Just pipe it for the drive, however you did that?
It's just have the drive
Oh, that's good.
going across it. You're also only allowed so much impact under that permit, so that's why it kind of is tight in that corner. You can only impact so much. So the building started out when I first met Mr. Hagel, it was a larger building, but we had to shift it because of the presence of the wetlands and made it a little smaller and reconfigured it a little bit.
Does this increase your employee base, or is it basically the same, just change warehouse?
It's, we're gonna increase by a few employees, but nothing substantial.
Did you want to talk more about the parking?
Well, I think we'll take a moment of time.
Well, we'll talk about the parking now. We'll just look at-
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the parking now.
Sure.
Because the 10% on the front is, kind of what we're requesting. You're asking for variance for the 60% to the 10. Or how are we on parking for customers and/or employees, or do we just have employees more than customers?
More employees than customers.
But you do have some customers.
I'm sorry, I gotta come a little
Okay,
closer.
come right there.
Deaf.
Did you guys name and address? State your name and address.
Jim Heigel, 2150 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York.
Thank you.
Mr. Howell, how do you spell your name?
Heigl.
So on a parking lot, we end up with 154 proposed spots.
Okay. Yep.
And, that's adequate for what you're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
And the reason we're moving more to the front to the back is because the warehouse is kind of taking over part of that area?
The wetlands, the area needed for water retention on the backside. We can't touch that. So the front is really the primary space that's available.
Do you know how many spots are there today?
I don't have the
I'm
exact
just
number.
curious.
It's on the land development plan, and I wrote
I'm just
everything
curious
down
more
except
than
that.
anything. I'm not even looking for them.
I think it was 80, I want to say 80 something, and then we took the 80 and added
Yeah, 70,
some odd
74.
to
That
it.
was- yeah, I remember
So
seeing
there's
70.
90, and we're adding 64.
Okay.
And they're all going to be here.
That's correct, yeah.
And that distance between that and the road is, it's roughly. I assume it's the same distance that it was originally?
It's actually closer on the rest of it is, the rest of it's paved all the way out to the road. Most of the frontage is paved to the road, so I would say we're 30 to 40 feet, if not more than that. 30 to 40 feet to the property line. I can scale it here and get you an exact. So you want from the road or you want from the property line?
Pardon?
From the
the road?
property line, I'm 40 feet. From the pavement, I'm 45,
25 feet from the
Yeah.
pavement. Okay.
50, call it 50.
All right.
And your parking in your lot's not gonna choke up your trucks coming in to use that drive pretty much. There's enough room and swing to make that all happen.
Yeah, we ran a template, and that's why if you look at the corner, the corner's bulbed out a little bit to go around that corner of the building.
Over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's to swing the truck around the corner of the building. We had a little bit different configuration of an entrance, but if you look out on 99, there's a bunch of telephone poles and other utilities in the way, and the grade, it just didn't, it wasn't working.
There's a property boundary right on that edge there as well.
Also,
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good. Is there anybody else in the audience that wants to speak? Here's none. Do I have a motion from the board on the expansion of the legal non-conforming use to expand the building? A motion for that?
I make a motion to accept the request for variance.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, then, the second one is variance on the maximum percentage of parking spaces in the front of the development. Do I have a motion for that?
I make a motion that we also accept that request for variance.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Next up, we have EA Equipment Sales and Service. Dennis and Lois Dwyer at 9771 Peach Street for a minimum front yard setback from the center line of the road for a sign, I believe. The case number is 20250-114. Someone wants to come forward to present?
Well, I'll give you guys each. That sign that's highlighted is what we're proposing for it to look like, yeah.
Sir, could you please state your name and address?
Brian Dwyer, it is 9504 Old Waterford Road.
I am.
Okay, Brian, we're up.
Okay, we're looking to, as I showed you that sign, we're looking to just mirror kind of what we got for Dwyer Plumbing there. We don't want to put it back 125 feet, which is what your guys' zoning is now. We want to try to keep them so they're all up by the road and you can see the sign, because the sign ain't that big. I know Kia and all them up the road there, they got to be back, they're off 125 feet. But if we do that, it's going to be in the building where it is now. So,
And it's gonna go where the star's at in front of that building now?
it's gonna be next property line over, more north. Yeah, right up in there.
Right in
Yeah,
that area?
yeah, that area there.
Do you own that next property?
Yes, he owns it. Yeah,
Corporation?
yeah.
I'm talking the one that's north of that star.
Yes,
This-
yeah, he owns that lot and then the lot where the star is.
So there's actually 3 lots of record there,
Yes,
with the plumbing shop, the new rental shop, and then
yes,
future
over
down the
there.
road.
Yep. Where the house is, where the star is, that house is no longer there. We demolished that.
Yeah, I think we understand your issue with the sign looking back, because we've had various issues up on 19 with new dealerships that went in and required to go any new businesses in that area.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the 125 is there.
If that house isn't there, why wouldn't you put it on that lot, the sign?
Why didn't you want to put it
The
there?
house isn't there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Why-
Yeah, the house isn't there. I mean, we could.
I guess that's.
It doesn't really matter.
Where's the business? I mean, it's here.
The business is in the building behind the house there.
In the center.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And then they do service work over there in the pool bar or the
So
block
that-
building.
That house isn't there, I mean, you just.
Yeah, that's all open right now.
This is where the equipment's parked right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah, it's all sitting right there.
What's your plan on getting the equipment off the front of the road here? It's pretty tight to the road.
We can back it off.
Is there a land development for this operation? I know you're coming for the sign, but
Yeah.
when we look at the sign being out there, there's more issues with equipment parking to pull in and out for sight lines than there is the sign itself. What if it doesn't reach you?
Nice.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know where you're coming in right now for the, it seems like the equipment's all right here.
Yeah, there's also a driveway coming on the north property that goes down and comes around the
Right here?
backside. No, go over north one more piece. Yeah, right, it goes right down that pine tree row, over north.
Oh, okay.
It'd be more to your left there. There's a driveway that comes in, comes around the backside.
It comes down in here and comes into here now.
Yes, that's all open lot.
Yeah, that's why, you know, this sign is
Yes.
where the house is. You know, take care of your problem too. You wouldn't be able to put all the equipment up
Well, I guess that's the question. So I guess when people are accessing this new business, are they coming through these driveways here, or they're coming down in here and coming this way?
It's kind of a mixture, depending on which way they're coming. Some of them are coming and going in that way, and then some of them are coming in that farther
They
driveway.
can actually come in this way and go
Yes.
back this way.
Yep. Or they can come in from the more northern driveway towards Summit Auto and come in and come around.
there. So what's that one sign there on the right side of that
This
property?
is for the plumbing.
Yeah, it's a plumbing sign there, yeah.
That would make sense, they might want to put it down further.
I guess, there's a question for Ken. On this sign here is on this lot of record. Shouldn't this sign be on this lot of record, and each sign should be on each lot of record? Rather than like Chuck is talking about putting it over on this lot, which
Right.
is another lot of record.
So when we were discussing this, I was told that this equipment sales was an accessory to the existing business, and they were gonna utilize the existing office that's
It's in the.
there.
Is this the office?
Yes.
Okay.
So the equipment was gonna be an accessory. I was told that he was not going to utilize the northern lot, because this is going to be an accessory
Yeah, that's why I
sales
said-
to
that's why I
what
said
he already
go with the
does.
houses.
Excavating sales, accessory to what is already happening there on that lot. We do have a land development plan for the existing buildings, that are, obviously currently there, and for those uses. Now, for an accessory building, he does not have a building for the
It's not an
equipment, it's just an accessory use that he's using for Dwyer excavating, so.
Does,
Unless something has changed, I was not aware with the northern lot there.
So the accessory use is fine to use that as a lot for the sales, but you don't identify it as a separate business?
It is a separate business in a sense, and it's all, they're the same owners.
I think it's when you come down Lincoln Motor, you get the three
Yeah, but
different.
they're each for a dealership.
Understood. That's kind of what's happening here. You got each one of them is their own entity, but they're all together, especially since they're using that one building for the office space. But I would think that they'd have to have both of those within the property line. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's a township question on the signage for each lot of record. Is that what we've done in the past where they're always, even though it's a different business is on, let's go back to New Motors.
Right, so I'm trying to see where that sign is on that.
Well, this sign is like right here, this is for the plumbing. So if you put one on this, you have two signs on one lot of record.
Mhm.
And they have two businesses on one lot of record.
Which is fine. It can't go on the other lot.
Right. It has to go, it can't go in that north lot.
So
The
we're saying-
the township's ordinance requires that the advertising occur on the lot in which the business is located.
Okay, then that clears my thought, is the fact is this is another lot.
Yep. So it's got to go on where the house was.
It's gotta be on the house lot.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, so we don't allow any off-site advertising, and that would be the shift.
If you move it over to the other piece, it'd be
Technically
off-site.
right.
Unless you combine lots, which is an
So
option
you would have to
you could
put them in one piece.
You could do that, but if you're gonna keep it split, it has to be on the lot in which the business is located.
Okay. That'd be something up to you.
And the
Down at the
lot,
senior center.
Senior center, we're not gonna.
the logic of that is that there's heavy traffic on Peach Street. So a lot of eyes, so people could use their property for advertising other businesses or other locations or other things. Summit does not allow that, only advertise the business on the lot in which it's located.
So it needs to be on the house lot then?
To the, as you're looking at, to the right of that yellow line.
Okay.
Right where you tore the house down, right in there.
Or it could be on this little pad right here, I would believe. I think you'd want it more with your equipment right there, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
As long as it's on.
As long as it's on that piece of property, that's fine.
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about the sign and the sight lines and how far it's gonna be back. So,
Well, the sign itself, you're meeting on the requirements with the 10
Yeah.
foot clear span, right?
Yes.
And 48 square feet is as big as it can be, right?
Yeah, because we had to deal with all that with the Dwyer plumbing sign.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
so you're basically be in line with the Dwyer plumbing sign,
Yes.
at least that's. what-
Yes, that was our plan. We were gonna align them with each other. Which is obviously at that point, when you do that, everything's gonna be shifted back 10 or so feet for the sign.
More questions? Anybody else?
Okay, I think we're done with you guys. Anybody want to give any testimony or ask any questions from, I think anybody else was sworn in? Okay. Do I have a motion from the board on variance for the sign placement?
Make a motion to accept the request as presented.
Do I have a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion.
I move we adjourn.
Second. Favor? Aye.
I gotta go to our homeowner association meeting. I was here in the first one, each of the presentation for the roads.